Any human will have power beyond anything we've ever known. If need be, our food will be light and sound. We'll be able to levitate. We'll live for up to 5,000 years. And we'll be telepathic. When this kicks in, it will be quick. The time is near. It's time for you to join the stars. It's time for the bad to leave and the good in humanity to come out. It's time to rise.
Prometheus Gauntlet here. I bought a LifeStraw, which is I don't have it with me, but it's a tube about that big. And it's basically, I started reading the instructions. And the idea is that you use the LifeStraw to survive if you're in a survival situation, to drink out of a pond, something that's not, apparently something that's not salt water. Apparently they don't work on salt water, so that's one thing. It also says, never use LifeStraw to filter seawater or chemically contaminated water such as water from mining, tailing ponds, or near large agricultural operations. The LifeStraw does not make drinkable water from these sources and does not remove viruses, heavy metals, chemicals, or radioactive materials or particles smaller than 0.2 microns. It says also, LifeStraw filter will no longer pass water when the product has reached the end of its working life. Inability to sip water through the LifeStraw indicates that the product should be replaced. So, and you're also supposed to blow air back through it to kind of clean out the filter. So if this is good for like a situation where you find some standing water, rainwater, or a small pond, or maybe something like a river that comes from a mountain somewhere. But as long as if it's at the sea, it's seawater, you need to desalinate it. And I believe that you're supposed to use some sort of still for that. And there is a video from KennethKramm, I think his name's KennethKramm, and he shows where you get you get the water over the fire, and then you get a piece of copper wire, copper tubing, and it spirals out, right? So you have the water over the fire boiling. You have the aluminum foil on top of the water, with the copper tubing coming out of it, and then that is your still, and that's supposed to transform seawater into drinkable water. Basically, it evaporates it through that tube, and then it collects in another vessel somewhere at the end of the tube, which is an interesting thing. I saw a quick picture of it. I didn't see the whole video. I had to go back and see it, but it looks interesting. Just for preppers out there that are relying solely on filters, even a filter that takes out chemicals, I don't think it can take out seawater, but I could be wrong. There could be things out there. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is if you're going to prep and you're not sure about your water situation, you might want to come up with a still with copper tubing and some aluminum foil, or something that actually has, you can get the cover of that thing, the cover of the vessel that you're using to boil the water, and put a hole in it the size of that copper tubing, and then stuff the hole with aluminum foil. Something like that will probably work too, as long as it contains the foil. Or you can just modify it. They sell things that you can screw into a plate to put a hole through it, to where you could just attach it to the hole, and then of course you can use one of those clamps. You can use a clamp to clamp it down, and that'll probably work too and be more efficient than just using aluminum foil, because aluminum foil breaks. But if you can come up with a still that is collapsible and will go ahead and get your water distilled quickly, then you're probably good. And that way, You can desalinate your water. You can drink your water, whether you're next to a river or you're next to the sea or whatever. Filters are good in an emergency situation, but based on what I just read, it doesn't sound like it's going to be very useful if there's a biological attack or chemical attack or a nuclear attack or any kind of real attack, because we're surrounded by waste products, and most things, frankly, are just oil seeps in there. Oil's chemical based. All this stuff, anything, gasoline can contaminate it, and you can drink from it with this filter. So this filter is only good for certain situations, and you don't want to drink something that is going to make you sick. It even says that it only takes out. It says LifeStraw uses advanced microfiltration membrane technology that removes up to 99.9999% of bacteria. And then it lists all the different bacteria. 99.9% is what you put down if you have no certainty. If you don't have certainty, then the product is not 100%. It's not dependable. But it's usable, and you have to pick and choose your situations. There's Berkeley water filters. There's I forgot what the other names are. I should have made a list for you. But there's other water filters out there that do remove chemicals that probably have less than 0.02 or what was it? Yeah, 0.2 microns. Probably something better than 0.02 microns. That will probably take it out. But I'm pretty sure they won't take out the salt in salt water. So either way, for you preppers out there that are serious about drinking good water, and you're able to get a fire going, and you're able to get some water, and you want to be able to drink it without freaking dying or getting sick, because you can't afford to get sick if the shit hits the fan. What I would recommend you do is make a still, collapsible still that folds into itself like a vessel, like one of those big pans you use to boil for huge families, those big pots. Take a pot, take the lid, make sure the lid is securable, that it's a good lid, drill a hole in it, put one of those things that, I forgot what they're called, you screw them on to kind of hold it, and so that you can put the copper pipe on top of it and it'll come out that way. The ideal thing would be like a cone, like if you could put a cone on top of there, a cone-shaped lid, that would probably be ideal. They may actually sell stills that are collapsible and good for that sort of thing, and that's what I would recommend as far as water is concerned, because you just don't want to take any chances. And if you do put something in there that's chemical, or you do put something in there that has a lot of heavy biological contaminants like sewer water or any kind of water like that, yeah, you're going to strain the water, you're going to run the water through a napkin or a handkerchief or something like that, and you'll get most of that crap out. But the rest of it that's left is going to be this brown muck, and you're going to have to make sure that all that stuff dies and that only the pure water comes out. You can't afford to be without clean water in these situations. And I just thought I'd put that out there because I'm running a simulation in my mind. What are the chances are that I'll find this kind of water source where this kind of filter would work, like a little puddle or something like that? And I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking, how many puddles are around me right now? And I'm looking, and there's really nothing. If the water mains don't work, if the water pressure's down, I don't see any water here. I'm in the middle of a park. There's no rivers here. I'm in San Antonio. There's no rivers in this area. I'd have to go find a water source and camp out there and hope that it's running water instead of still water. You know what I mean? It's just complication. But if I have a still with me that's collapsible, that's light, aluminum or whatever, that I can use to boil water completely in, although it probably should be steel because aluminum will probably melt eventually. Aluminum is light, but it's not that durable. But if you have steel and you can boil that water completely and run it all through that good sealed lid into that copper pipe or whatever, then yeah, you're good to go. You should be able to distill your water and drink it safely and with a big smile on your face. Although it probably takes forever to boil that stuff. You have to put that on at night for the next morning or something like that. But anyway, I just thought I'd put that out there. I don't think people are really thinking about these filters. Whatever filter you bought, whatever filter you think is worth your dime and you purchased it, read the instructions carefully and make damn sure that that applies to you in your area. I'm going to keep my filter. I'm going to keep this filter. I'm going to keep the other little filter. It's not Berkeley. It's another name brand at Walmart. I forgot what it was. But anyway, I'm going to read the instructions on that other filter too, and just make sure you know your equipment well enough to be able to use it. This is just a FYI, and love you all very much. You all take care and try to survive. All right.